Welcome back to MOA Outdoor Videos. Last week we scouted some good deer in Bandera, Texas on the MC Ranch. This week me and my wife have gone back to try to harvest one of the 10 points out there. Not the biggest deer on the ranch, but it's a deer that I've really grown to like over the last few years watching him. He's got the mainframe 9 with a kicker. Where he's been at is about a 200 to 250 yard shot where we've been seeing him at, and the downfall we have this week is we have some pretty bad weather coming in. So I hope to get a good shot at him. The MC Ranch is real special to me. I shot my first big whitetail there. My son shot his first whitetail here, and hopefully this weekend my wife will get to shoot her first deer or her first pig here. So this is actually her first time ever hunting with me, so I'm really excited about that. We got the opportunity to set up a few game cameras. We didn't see a lot moving on the game cameras at night because it was during the rain time when we put them up, but the ranch owner was a spot I wanted to see if we could see any different animals. So we set it up. We did see a few whitetail there, but it wasn't the one we were looking for. On this episode, you're going to see us scouting the MC Ranch. There's a lot of animals out here. What's really cool is that the black bucks are all in rut. So the black bucks are chasing. The whitetails are just finishing up, but we've got some great footage of some whitetails. And once we really get out and start cruising the ranch, all the animals were hunkered down. It poured down rain all day long. We had about 27, 28 hours of rain, had a few inches, so the animals didn't seem to be moving right at first. Probably because we all were hunkered down too. And once we got out and realized that the animals were really moving in this rain, we decided we were going to go ahead and make a sit that evening. Now the ranch owner, Scott, he just doesn't own the place. He's it's kind of like the Air Club for him. He's not just a member, he's the president. He's out there with us all day long, all the time. His son is ranch foreman. We have a great time with all of them. They're all great people, and they know their business, and they work hard to get you your animal. Sometimes it's not easy. This is not a canned hunt. This isn't a place to go and shoot fish out of a barrel. This is about 3,000 acres of pretty rough country to hunt. So it's fun hunting, but we're usually successful, but there have been times when folks have been skunked. We really enjoy the accommodations on MC Ranch. The main house is really a treat. It's got a game room where there's a lot of wildlife that's been taken all over the world there. There's TVs, there's pool table, there's shuffleboard. Lots of things to do. If you want to play poker, there's a great poker table there. For your wife and your kids, or even for you, you sit out on the back porch. There's a stream that runs right by there. You can fish, you can watch the ducks, you can watch the wildlife. It's really a great atmosphere. Hope you're enjoying Minute of Angle this week. This week I want to talk about long range shooting a little bit. One of the things that we did on this trip was we shot 2 different rifles. The key to those rifles were, number one, build your bullets to your rifle. To buy box bullets and try to shoot them 1,000 yards, the chances are you shoot enough of them, you will hit it. To shoot it consistently, you really do need to build the bullet to your gun. What we did do was we built a great 6.5 Creedmoor round. We were shooting Hornady 140 grain ELD match, and we shot 143 ELD X bullets. So we had a hunting bullet and a match bullet. We loaded the exact same powder. It's H4350. We put 40 grains in each one. and they shot very consistent at 1,000 yards. We were shooting at a 10-inch plate. Last couple weekends ago, we were shooting at a 36-inch plate, and we wanted to make it a little bit more difficult. So we were shooting 10-inch plates at 1,000 yards. And the second gun we had was a Savage 110 BA. We were shooting 300 grain Nosler custom competitions out of that, and we had 90 grain of Rotumbo powder. That gun is a great gun to shoot, but you don't want to shoot it a lot. So it does have a little more recoil than the 6.5. What I like about it is the ballistics are very close. We were 34 MOA up at 1,000 with the 6.5, and 29 MOA up at 1,000 with the 338 Lapua. The difference is 160 grains a bullet. Enjoy the rest of the show. This week my wife's shooting a Remington Model 700 and 300 blackout. We created a round for its 110 grain VMAX with 20 grains of H110 powder in it. It's shooting about 2,310 feet per second out of this Remington. And what it's designed for is to shoot pigs in the ear. That's our goal, and that's what my wife's goal is. So she wants to take her first pig with this 300 blackout, and its effective range is to me is well out past 100 yards, but she was putting them within an inch at 100 yards, so hopefully she gets a shot. Now on this first sit, we saw a few young whitetail bucks come in, and we saw an axis that was still in velvet. We did not see any pigs, but what I think is impressive is this is probably one of the biggest black bucks I've ever seen, and we know where he's coming, and hopefully the ranch owner would like to shoot this one, but I bet if somebody came in first to shoot it, he'd probably let him hunt it. Now, this old black buck's smart. We've seen him for 3 or 4 years. Watched him when he was young. This buck used to be at where you see all your other bucks out in the plains, and as he got older and got smarter, he took to the hills, and you'll see him, he circles all the way around the hillside and comes in from the right wind side instead of like the other bucks that came in, they just ran right in there. This one's a lot smarter and a lot older, and he's pretty impressive. He'd be a good one to hunt. Being that it was my wife's first time deer hunting, we had a really cool experience where a doe and 2 yearlings ran wide open down the hill. And you can tell the boy deer because he ran right in and the only thing he was thinking about was eating. So he sprints in and stops dead on the corn. We watched him a little bit and we put these deer to bed. We did have one nice 10-point come in at the end of the day, but he wasn't what I was looking for. And we ended the day with no pigs and a great dinner. Welcome back to this segment of Minute of Angle. I want to talk about sighting your rifle in for the first time. The rancher's son bought a brand new 6.5 Creedmoor, put a new scope on it, and we went out to the range to sight it in. It had already been bore sighted with a laser. The other way you can do that is lock it in on some sandbags, or if you use a lead sled, you can lock it in on a lead sled, pull the bolt out if it's a bolt action, look down the barrel and put it on the paper. Look up through the scope and adjust your scope till its crosshairs are on the paper. That's step one. Step two is just sit down on a steady rest, preferably sandbags. Get it steady, squeeze the trigger, and you find out where your bullet is. Instead of trying to figure out, do I click it to the right, do I click it to the left, do I click it up, do I click it down, do I move the bullet, or do I move the crosshairs? What I do is I lock that gun in on the rest, and then once it's locked in, I don't touch the gun, I just touch the dials, and make sure the crosshairs are at the bullseye where you aimed, and then click it over right or left on your windage to where it's right over top of the bullet, and then up or down on your elevation. And when those crosshairs are where your bullet are, the gun is sighted in. We sighted in that gun in 2 shots, and it's dead on. All right, welcome back. We're going to start this episode off with a recap from 2 weeks ago. There's a 10-point out there. He's a pretty wide 10-point. We saw him at a stand. We saw him at a stand the year before, and he was a big deer then. He's probably 6.5 years old. I watched him for a few hours last weekend. It was pretty difficult. But what we did this weekend, we decided to come back and try to get an opportunity at him. So here's a few pictures of him, and we'll start our hunt in just a few minutes. All right, let's get to hunting my 10-point. As we drove up the hill to the stand, we got up to the top. I was going to drop my wife off in the video camera. It started to sprinkle a little bit, but there was a buck already in on the road where we were hunting at. Wasn't the buck we were looking for. We backed out real easy and then eased in there. As the rain started to come down a little bit harder, it was spotty when we first got there. But as we decided we were going to go ahead and sit till the end of the night, and it paid off. The first buck that came in was a 10-point. Came in at about 265 yards. And one thing you'll notice, you don't see him run off, but as it started to rain, the deer spooked a little bit and decided he was going for cover. That didn't get our hopes up. As the rain really started to come down, another deer came out. Came out at about 260 yards. We ranged him at 251 in the rain. He was uphill a little bit. As soon as I saw him, I knew how wide he was. I knew it was my deer. I told my wife, I asked her, "So are you videoing?" She said yes. We did not have a tripod. We didn't have a big camera, so I apologize if footage isn't the greatest, but she did a great job getting the deer when it actually got shot. So I want you to watch this, and this is testimony that you can hunt in the rain, and it does pay off.
Video? Mm-hmm.
He's over this way. Now, when you shoot a deer in the rain, you got to be very certain that you know where your shot placement is. You be very comfortable with your rifle, your bullet, everything.
The Big Ten was there.
When I shot this deer, I had a shoulder pocket in the front shoulder, and I was trying to take the back shoulder out. Actually, we did take the back shoulder out. We took all of his brisket out of his back shoulder. He still managed to run about 35 yards and made me kind of nervous, so we ended up going and I knew he was hit well. He almost did a backflip when he got hit.
We've been hunting this deer for a little while. So.
But this is on top of a hill, and about 40 yards in each direction is sheer cliff. So awesome. We went out and checked, and here's the result.
See
So we just killed a deer, and now we're trying to get a big hog for Delisas, or maybe an axis doe or something like that, something to shoot at, you know. But we killed a nice buck, so it was really cool with my wife being there. So that's the first time. So it didn't drop right away. It ran about 35 yards. Disappointing there, but that was great. Maybe she'll kill something. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that hunt. I was really excited to get that 10 point. On this segment of MOA, I want to talk about what's really important and what really mattered in that hunt. There are three most important hunts I've ever had was this one, because my wife was with me. It's the first time my wife was ever with me, first time she ever shot an animal. The other one was last year. My son shot his first buck on MC Ranch. That was a really enjoyable time. And the other one was about 7 years ago on MC Ranch with me and my dad, and we both ended up killing bucks on MC Ranch. We really enjoyed it. There's nothing better than spending time in the field with your family, with your friends. My daughter's gone hunting with me many times. Unfortunately, she's pretty bad luck. We haven't even seen a deer when she's been with us. So one day I'll drag her out to MC Ranch with me, and maybe she'll get an opportunity to take an animal. So I hope on your next trip you guys do plan it with your family. I got caught a lot of flack from my buddies. Why are you bringing your wife to deer camp? No offense, guys. She's a lot better hunting partner than you. Welcome back to MC Ranch. One of the things you're going to notice is we do a lot of eating there. You're not going to starve. You will not go hungry. If you go hungry, it's because you got lost in the woods. It's a wonderful place. The staff is great, and the food is pretty darn good. So after every hunt, we always go and eat. We had some homemade cinnamon rolls. We had homemade apple pie. And we had wonderful food. So once we got our belly full, got a good night's rest, we went back out the third day trying to get Delisas a pig, and we sat at a really interesting stand called Big Dip, and we saw one of the biggest all-dads that we've got a chance to film. So I hope you enjoy this segment. There's a pretty mature 8-point on him that we saw at this sit. I know some hunters that are coming next weekend for some management 8-points, and we're going to put them on Big Dip because I think there's going to be a good possibility of taking this big animal. So it's not a giant, but it is a respectable management 8-point. one of the things you want to make sure of when you're taking your family or any first-time hunters hunting is that they're comfortable. It was pretty cold and windy and rainy, and one of the things you're going to notice is my wife has about 15 layers of my clothes on. She's not a big hunter, so she had to wear all my bibs and my jackets. So she was comfortable. We brought heater buddies with us. We sat in comfortable chairs. We didn't sit for long times, and that's very important when you got a new hunter. So make it to where they enjoy it and to where they're not miserable. Once they get hooked, then they can be miserable. Welcome back to Minute of Angle. Though that hunt wasn't real productive, we did have a good time. We saw a great aoudad, a couple of management bucks, and we saw a youngster, a young spike. We still didn't see any hogs, so Delisas is still on the hook to try to shoot something. One of the things I want to talk about today in Minute of Angle is game preparation. I own a taxidermy shop, and one of the problems we have is people, when they bring in their animals, they haven't maintained the hides well. So a couple of rules of thumb: wash them off, okay? Get the blood off of them. Blood tends to go bad. When you cape them out the best you can. It's okay to have meat and fat on the hide. Keep it dry and keep it cold, and you need to get it to the taxidermist within a few days. One of the best ways to do it, if you do have a stand-up cooler, hang them in the cooler after you've washed them off. They usually tend to bleed out that way, and you don't have any issues. If you cape them out, hang them up for a little bit and where it's cool, let everything run off of them, and then double bag them in black trash bags and put them in ice. But tie it around the top. Don't let the water get in the bag. You've got 3 or 4 days then to get to the taxidermist. The better you prepare your cape and better you treat your cape, the better off we are when we get it to do taxidermy. From the first cedar tree up the hill. Right there is 1,000 yards. For all the critics out there of long range shooting with the 6.5 Creedmoor, as you watch this episode, we ended up shooting 15 shots. We hit a 10-inch plate at 1,000 yards 2 times with 15 shots. As you can hear in the background, the wind's blowing about 15 to 18 miles per hour. So I really believe that the majority of the misses that were missed horizontally, there was very few missed up and down, were missed because of the wind and the variation of the wind. When the wind died down to about 10 miles an hour, we started putting some shots on target. Once we beat that challenge of a 10-inch plate at 1,000 yards with the 6.5, we moved to the 338 Lapua Magnum, and we shot a few rounds with that. It was a little more stable with that 300 grain bullet. And once we figured out how to hold the gun in the position we were at, it was stacked on some bags on the back of the truck. I ended up shooting it left-handed, and we rang it at 1,000 yards left-handed with the 338 Lapua Magnum.
Not at either of those spots. Got it! Got it! Said
Hell
center,
yeah!
baby.
I thought it was really cool. That was looking great.
It was a great time out there with the ranch owner, his son, one of the ranch workers, and my wife. We had a good time, and everybody seemed to enjoy shooting that big gun.
Go out the bang.
And 1,000 yards, if you don't know, is a long ways. Here you go.
Got it. Yep. Woo! All right.
Got it again.
Can you see through it?
Got Ryan's booster seats. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm not 7 foot.
Now let me tell you a story about Ryan. Ryan is the ranch owner's son. He's a great young man. We give him a lot of grief, and it's because we like him. And he also always kind of walks right into it.
Almost perfectly level gauge across here. Oh, that's right. So that makes it good. All right. Hey, we need to get a picture of you shooting that. Kind of like you shoot.
I hope you enjoy that long range shooting. In this short segment of Minute of Angle, I want to talk about some box rifles that are great rifles for anybody who's looking to shoot out to 500, 1,000 yards. I would have never thought, and I don't want to sell a product on here. That's not my intention. But I do want to talk about a rifle that I was pretty impressed with. That's very, very affordable. It is a Ruger American. That Ruger American in the 6.5 Creedmoor, which is the round we want to talk about. I'd never seen a gun that is out of the box shoot box ammo like that one does. It's not a high dollar gun. You can shoot 500 yards with just about any bullet you want. Last week we actually showed the 10-year-old with one shot hit a 10-inch plate at 500 yards, and that was with it was non-typical, federal non-typical ammo, soft point, and he rang it out. So if you're looking for a good affordable gun, the Ruger American is one I would definitely look at. There's lots of other ones out there, but that's a very practical gun. So it's already threaded, so if you want to put a suppressor or if you want to put a muzzle brake on it, either one. I like to make a lot of noise, so I shoot a lot of muzzle brakes. And when I finally break down and get a suppressor, I'll probably like it the other way. But it's definitely a good gun. So if you're looking for something to start off with, you can't beat a Vortex scope. So stick your Vortex on top of that Ruger American and go out and shoot 500 yards. Now this next hunt's the most important for me. You're going to get to see my wife take her first shot at anything ever, and she smokes it. She hits exactly where she was aiming. We hunted all weekend. She hunted hard. She was a trooper, and I really enjoyed the time we spent together, and I really enjoyed being there when she harvested this animal. So I can't beat the sunsets out there or the sunrises, so I hope you enjoy the sunrise that we videoed, and I hope you enjoy the hunt.
That's the spot you need to aim for once you turn sideways.
You got her, baby.
I did. Could you tell? Were you looking at the binoculars?
I was watching her. You got her. No, it's not. I can't either. Yeah, you got her.
She kind of went, like this with her feet.
Yeah, she didn't drop, but we're gonna let her sit there for a little bit. Hey, you see all the blood? The blood on that rock? Right here. Blood there. You see her? Let's walk around this way, baby. Oh yeah. Awesome job, baby. Make you nervous? Creedmoor.
Oh, from the other side. Like, look at her mouth. Like, spray her face.
It stays in there.
Spray her face.
But like, she's got blood coming out the mouth. Spray her face.
There you go. Hey, what's that tongue taste like? All right, that was a special hunt for me. I hope you enjoyed it. This segment of Minute of Angle, I want to talk about something that you saw Delisa using in the deer stand. Is a trigger stick. Now, like I said, there's many different brands, but the brand that we've got is we use the Primos trigger sticks. And if you're sitting in a blind and you have an opportunity to where your gun can rest on the windowsill or on a gun rest, there's nothing beats that trigger stick for that support of the stock. So if you notice when she was trying to adjust, she was adjusting with the trigger stick and then letting the weight back down so she could rest her cheek on the gun and get a clean, stable, steady rest. I've got a video of my son doing the same thing. It's the way I shoot. If you want to shoot anything past 100, 150, 200 yards, I recommend doing that because it takes you from shooting in a kill zone to finding a dot on that deer and shooting that dot on that deer. So we had Delisa, I had her put the crosshairs where the spotted line met the elbow, met the shoulder, and she smoked it. The deer didn't have a chance. So if you haven't tried that, try using your trigger sticks and shoot with that at the range just like you're going to shoot with it at the deer stand. Hope you enjoyed it. You're going to see us taking some pictures and loading out here, and I'll see you next week. All right, I always get asked the question, how do you get the deer to sit up? Well, that's important to know. We don't stick sticks in them, or we don't do anything crazy to them. What we actually do is we put them in the coolers, in the walk-in cooler, and we tie their heads up. Then what that does is it almost freezes them in that position, but they get cold, they get stiff in that position, and it makes taking pictures of your trophy a lot easier. It also, I mean, that's they bleed out very well like that too. But stick them in the cooler like that, and they'll stay like that through your pictures, and then you can cape them out and stick them in the cooler.
All right.
Keep my hands in my pockets.
Let me know before you take it.
I know where you're going.
That was great.
Let me get up so I can whip his ass. James.
Yes, sir.
Get over here with Amy, please, sir.
Girl, get over here and look at this.
I want to give special thanks to Scott Hyman and the MC Ranch. Not only are they great ranch owners, and not only are they great people to be around, they're really good friends of mine. I enjoy their company. I enjoy the time I spend with them. And anybody who's ever been to MC Ranch, nobody could ever say anything bad about this place or about the people that run it. Scott's a great person. His son's a great person, and I hope for many, many years we continue to get to go out there and hunt and enjoy our fellowship. So God bless everybody. I hope you have a great hunting season. We'll see you next week. Plan on going on a Colorado elk hunt. Take care.